Hello, hello, hello. Happy Sunday. How are you guys doing today? I'm going on day 2 of having this incredible migraine. It's probably not as bad as it was yesterday, but it's just the fact that it's like the second day of it lingering when I haven't had one in so long. Yesterday while I was vlogging, it like went away, and then about an hour after I got done vlogging, it like started to come back slowly. And by like 10 or 11 o'clock last night, it was like full on migraine. And then by the time I went to bed, it was a little bit better. I actually went to bed. I've been going to bed a little bit earlier than I usually do. And so I'm just kind of like laying in bed for like, you know, because I know it takes me a while. I slept super, super, super deep last night. And so when I woke up today, I woke up and like immediately, like the first thought I had was like, oh, my head is killing me. And then I was like, okay, if I wake up and I'm feeling dizzy again, I'm going to be like real worried. But I didn't feel dizzy at all. My head has been really hurting me. Actually, Stacy commented on the vlog yesterday, and she said something about the weather in, I think she said Wisconsin. Something about the weather in Wisconsin is like high prone for migraines right now. So that might be what's going on. I don't know. It's been forever since I've had one. So I don't know what's going on about it, but I'm kind of like over it right now. We literally just walked in the door like 15 minutes ago, took Boo Radley out. He's very, very tired today, and I took him outside, had to like wake him up to take him outside, and came outside and he did his business. He wasn't real excited about being outside. And then while I was outside, Alex was like putting 2 different plates of food together. So he's in the kitchen eating right now. Alex is going upstairs to start watching. I think it's this, he said he was waiting until all the episodes were out of No More Lies, I think is what he's watching. He watched the first season and he liked it, so now he's watching the second season. And he said he was waiting for all the episodes to be out. So I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go vlog now. I'm not gonna make any other videos today. I'm just gonna vlog and take the day and relax. And then tomorrow, this week might be a little bit of a light week as far as filming. I'm not really sure yet. We'll just have to kind of play it by ear. Tomorrow I have a hair appointment, and so when I get back from my hair appointment, it'll be early enough that I can film a couple videos. So I'll probably film tomorrow at least like a drama video, a review video. I don't know. I mean, I have a bunch of stuff to review, so I'll definitely do a review video tomorrow and a drama video. My vlog, I'll do my vlog tomorrow. Alex's mom wants us to come over there for dinner tomorrow night. And so we're going to go over there for dinner tomorrow night. We're going to take Boo with us so that we can just like, you know, keep an eye on him and stuff like that, because we don't know how long we're going to be over there. So we're going to go over there for dinner tomorrow night. Alex was asking me like what time would be good. And I said, well, I want to make sure that I can get my vlog done and stuff like that. So as soon as I get my vlog done, we can go over there for dinner. And I mean, it'll be real casual. It's just going to be the 3 of us, plus Boo Radley. So she's going to tell us all about her trip and stuff like that. So that'll be fun tomorrow. And then today, we went to brunch. Gave Boo Radley his medicine at 2. And then we got ready and we went to brunch. And Alex had a bowl of the turkey chili. He got so full when he was done, like he hardly ate any of his Cuban. He got the Cuban too. And when he was done, he like hardly had any of his Cuban. And I said, are you not hungry? He goes, no, I'm really full after that bowl of chili with all these croutons. He goes, I probably should have just got a cup. But he loves the turkey chili so much, and it's seasonal. They only have it, you know, so many months. And so when they have it, he wants to make sure that he gets it. So he brought almost his whole Cuban home, and then he had coffee, and then he had a Coke to go. He got a Coke to go because we knew that we were going to vote, so we thought we were going to be standing in line for a while. And so I got the coffee, which was pumpkin spice, which was very on, what is it called? The word I'm looking for. Very on brand for Halloween coming up this next week. So they have pumpkin spice today. I've drank so much pumpkin spice coffee in this last month because I bought all this pumpkin spice coffee that I'm kind of burnt out on the pumpkin spice coffee. But I had pumpkin spice coffee, and then I got the Fat Rabbit, which is their vegan sandwich. But I replaced the, because one of the servers there, it's our friend, she told me to do this. So I replaced the, what's it called, the cashew ricotta, and that with the herb cream cheese, and then I add extra onions to it, and then I get it with chips. And so I ate half of it, and I brought the other half home. And then I got an iced coffee to take with me because I thought we were going to be standing in line forever to go early vote. Actually, it was so interesting because somebody just messaged me. Well, I'll just leave them anonymous, but they said that their son lives in Indianapolis, and she was like, he went and early voted yesterday, and she told me where he early voted. And I'm like, oh my God, that's where we went and early voted. So we went to this church, and we early voted today. So I have my little stickers on right here. See? I voted, and then it says I voted early. So, I really thought, like, when we got there, there's, like, all these, like, metal things, like, you know, like, when you're waiting in line for, like, a concert or something, that, like, for, like, 300 people. And I thought, like, the parking lot when we pulled up, it looked pretty packed. And I was like, oh, my God, we're going to have to wait, like, 3 or 4 hours. It was 15 minutes. We were in and out. I could not believe it, that we were, like, in and out in 15 minutes. So yeah, so we did that, and then afterwards, Alex got his car washed. It was so weird. Like, I was sitting there and I was like looking at it, and Alex goes, I can't believe you're not recording this. And I said, I was actually thinking about it. So I ended up recording, hold on, I'll show it to you. The car wash. Where is it at? Okay, so here's me right before go to vote. And I said, hold on. I said, we came on the right day to vote, only 15 minutes wait. You can see behind me, you can see, like, all the gates, and there's, like, nobody waiting the gate. When we got there, the woman and the man that were, like, standing there, like, you know, getting everybody, like, in the line and whatever, they were like, it's only 15 minutes. This is the slow it's been. It's been all weekend, because there was, like, early voting, I guess, yesterday and today. And so there's, like, several locations in Indianapolis. And then here's Alex and I after we voted. And, oh, here we are at the car wash. And then I said to Alex, do you think they're going to have stuffed animals? He goes, I don't think they have stuffed animals at this one. At the end of it, they had stuffed animals. And then here's the last one. And I put on here, Sobbin' Robin from Sister Wives has had it. She's hiding from Cody at the car wash. So anyway, oh, wait. Okay, so anyway, that was our day. And then when we were driving back, I was like, can you please stop at the gas station so that I can get a fountain pop? And he was like, yeah, babe, no problem. So we're getting right to the gas station. I was like, just go home. I said, I don't need a fountain pop right now. So because I knew if I did, I'd get like because I've been getting fountain pops more recently, I've been drinking, like, the whole fountain pop, which I usually don't do. I usually, like, back in the day when I would get them all the time, I would drink, like, half of it and I'd be done. But now, because I feel like I don't know when I'm going to get another fountain pop, I've been drinking, like, the majority of the fountain pop when I go. So, I was like, just keep on going. So, I brought with me today a cup of ice and a Diet Dr. Pepper, which I'm going to open in just a second. But first... I always wondered on Big Brother, if you watch Big Brother, she says, like, Julie says all this stuff, and then she goes, but first, and it's hashtag but first, and I never understood why that was a big hashtag. I'm going to light the candles that are out here. So the apple cider candle, I think I say apple cider candle, the apple cider candle tester is gone. So I'm going to light Bookshop in Autumn, which says it on here, that the scent smells like chai tea latte with spices and coziness. Hand-poured natural soy candles from AARKA Origins. I don't know anything about it. I ordered it online on Etsy. This is the one that I said, well, neither one of these candles, I would say, the throw is not that strong. I hardly even wanted to light. But since it's a beautiful autumn day, I couldn't believe my husband on the way home. My husband is somebody that, like, he does not like, I mean, he thinks it's pretty, but, like, the falling of the leaves and stuff like that, he is like, oh, it just means winter's coming, it's going to be so cold and all that kind of stuff. He prefers summer, obviously. Summer's his favorite season. This candle I've almost burnt completely out. This pumpkin candle. Here we are. Pumpkin candles for life. Here, this could be a hat. But he was like, on the way home, he was like, the leaves are really pretty, aren't they? He goes, they just fall down. He goes, they just fall down all of a sudden. It does seem like just a week ago, like the leaves were just changing color, and then in the last couple days, it's like every yard is filled with leaves. So, all right, let's open this Diet Dr. Pepper. And Boo Radley is doing good today. I mean, I wouldn't say he's doing great, but he's doing okay. The walking is a lot. Last night, Alex got home real early last night. I was kind of surprised he wasn't gone later. I thought he'd be at this party till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning minimum. And he went to laser tag, which was like on the south side for one of his friends' birthday parties. And I brought a hoodie with me too because it's really cold outside. Well, it's not really cold, but it's cold. I didn't do a time and temperature check yet, did I? Currently, the time is 4:20 on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. I think before we left for... Oh, I have an orange lighter as well to go with my Halloween candle. I think before we left for brunch, I looked at the temperature because I was like, should I wear jeans or whatever? And I think it said 59 then, and it's 61 and sunny now. But when we were standing outside, which thank God it wasn't that long to vote, before we went in the building, this woman in front of us, she had on like this North Face jacket, and I was like, we were talking to them, and I was like, it is so cold outside. And I was like, and I had these green shorts on, these green corduroy shorts on, this Whitney Houston t-shirt. And I was like, I knew I should have brought like a hoodie or something. And Alex was like, well, go stand in the sunshine. I'm like, I'm not going to go stand over there in the sunshine. We're waiting in line. But it was so quick that it didn't matter. So last night, Alex went to laser tag on the south side for his friend's birthday party. He had such a blast. He was like, I haven't done that in so long. It was so much fun. And so he did that last night. And then he was going to come home and take a shower and then go to this Halloween party. But that like went a little bit longer. And I guess the Halloween party started early. I don't know. So anyway, he was like, I'm going to just go straight to the Halloween party because he's like, it's like 45-minute hour drive from where I'm at right now. And I was like, okay. He was like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm just kind of like watching some shows, like, you know, getting Boo Radley like settled and whatever. Feeding Boo Radley and whatever. So then Alex went to the party, and he didn't really know a lot of the people there. It was like his friend and her boyfriend, and then I mean, he knew the girl that was hosting the party, but he was telling me that they have like she has like 2 separate groups of friends, and so it was like Alex and like his friends, and like they all knew each other, and then like a bigger group of people that like they didn't really know that well. So anyway, he came home. I gave Boo his medication at 10 o'clock. And then Alex was home. Boo finally fell asleep about 11:15. I was kind of surprised he fell asleep earlier last night than he usually does. He fell asleep about 11:15. And so I think Alex got home like right at 11:30. Because when he texted me, he was like, I'm getting ready to leave. And I was like, Boo just fell asleep. So he got home like 15 minutes after that. But anyway, he said I was like, did you have fun at the Halloween party? He was like, yeah, I was okay. He was like, had this whole costume that he was like gonna like dress up as, and then when he came home, he was like in his laser tag out. I said, did you wear that outfit to like laser tag and stuff like that? And he was like, it looked like you know, like a SWAT team guy. And he was like, yeah. He was like, because that's what she wanted us to wear, like all black like stuff for the laser tag. And so he's like, I just wore it to the Halloween party because it looks like a costume. It did look like a costume. So anyway. And then he watched TikToks last night, and I watched TV, but we'll get to that in just a second. Boo Radley did good last night. He's still, like, walking a lot. So this is one of the things I thought about last night. So before he was on the trazodone, if he was, like, still up, like, after his last dose, like, at 10 o'clock, we give him his last dose. At 2 o'clock, like 1:45 to 2, if he was still up and pacing, I would give him a little bit more gabapentin to settle him down. And so I'm not doing that anymore because he's taking the trazodone and then he falls asleep with the trazodone. So, which last night, oh my God, he like fought me so hard on getting the trazodone down. I'm like so ready for it to be compounded. I'm so ready for tomorrow when Alex picks up the compounded trazodone so that we can just like get it in his mouth with syringes. It's so much easier. So anyway, so I was like, you know what? I'm not giving him more gabapentin to relax him late at night. So she said we could give it to him in between doses if we need to relax him. So last night I gave, it was like 6:40. I wrote it all down in my notes. It was like 6:40 that I gave him a little extra gabapentin. And then at 7:15, he was like upstairs, and at 7:15 I heard him like, I was like stopped. And I was like, because I didn't have my AirPods on, because when Alex is like not home and upstairs, I just like, you know, obviously watch my iPad without my AirPods. And so I heard him stop, and I went up there, and he was like sleeping in the bed on Alex's side, like on the little bed on the floor on Alex's side. And he just was like over the side of the bed, like he was exhausted. And then, So I came downstairs, I was like, oh my God, this is like, maybe he'll sleep until he gets his medicine. 25 minutes later, I think it was 25 minutes later, he was like up and walking again. And so I ended up giving him, well, I gave him his meds at 10 o'clock, but the trazodone, I gave him like a fourth at 9:30, and then I gave him a half because I was like, I don't, like, sometimes it doesn't get all the way down, and then I gave him a half at 9:45. So at 11:15, like at 10 o'clock, I gave him, he was kind of like really slowing down and whatever, and so I gave him his final meds, and then I took him upstairs and took him outside to go potty and do his like final potty for the night and all that kind of stuff, and then I took him upstairs. He's not real into treats anymore. That's the one thing. Like, he's into his food. Like, he, like, is so into eating so much food. But, like, the treats, it's kind of like he can't kind of see it on the floor. I don't know. We noticed today, like, his one eye, it's his other eye. Not the eye that was, like, before, but it's the other eye. It's kind of like it's a little closed. So we don't know if maybe that's how he slept or something like that. But, so at 10 o'clock, I was watching a bunch of shows in between this. I'll tell you about that in just a second. His pacing wasn't like how it's been before. Like, it usually throughout, like, towards, like, his last dose of medication, it kind of picks up a little bit. Like, he's, like, it's, like, getting out of his system, and he's, like, maybe, like, in pain, so he's wanting to walk a little bit more. But that's not really what happened last night. He was just kind of, like, slowly walking around, ate a little bit of food and whatever. So at 10 o'clock, I gave him his last medicine, and then I took him outside for him to go potty and walked him for a long time, and then I took him upstairs. And he was just kind of walking around, looking at his bed and stuff like that. And then I closed the door to the bedroom so I could hear him up there. And then I, like, massively cleaned the kitchen. Because the food, when he eats it, it, like... the other day he did pretty good. But the 2 days since, it's just been, like, a mess in the kitchen. Like, how it was before. And so it's like we have two of these rubber plates, you know, that are, like, for the air fryer, which I call a deep fryer. And then it's just, like, the food goes everywhere. So... we have to, like, I have to sweep it up, and then I have to vacuum up the floor, and then, like, I, like, you know, with the spray bottle and whatever, like, clean the floor, and then I was like, you have to, then he carries it out of the living room and the wood floors, and so you do all that, and then cleaning the kitchen counters, you know, and all this kind of stuff, and so I made sure, like, the kitchen was completely clean last night, like, the floors and everything. I was like, okay, because he's not eating anymore tonight, and then I got him upstairs, and then I just kind of, like, sat with him for a little bit, and then he just was still, like, kind of walking around and whatever, so I came downstairs. And what was I watching? I watched several TV shows last night. I was kind of surprised because I was like, I feel like I'm not watching anything. And then last night I was like, no, I watched like 2 movies and finished a series. And then like I started this show. So I was watching something, and then at like 11:10, he started like walking real fast. And that's kind of like the sign to me. Like, he's like getting so tired that he's like forcing himself to walk. So he like walks fast, and then he'll like start slowing down a little bit. And so I walked upstairs, and I could tell like he was really, really tired. When he's tired, he keeps on starting to walk over to his bed and like the blankets that we have laid down there. And he'll walk around him and kind of circle him and then walk back the other way. Like, he wants to lay down, but like he's like, no, I can't. Like, I have to keep on walking. And so we've done this the last couple nights. Like, Alex started doing it. And so I did it last night. I like held him like a baby. And he just puts his head back and closes his eyes. And so I even sang to him last night. How corny is this, okay? But, you know, it's my baby. And so I'm like holding him, like rocking him. I'm like, hush, little baby, don't say a word. And so I'm like singing to him, right? And he literally, like, his head just went, like, he fell asleep, like, in my arms. It's the sweetest thing in the whole world. And so I laid him down in his purple bed. And I covered him with a little blanket. And I think that's when Alex told me he was coming home. Hold on a second. Yeah, that's when. So this is like, this is the blankets, and then there's the bed with, and you can see little Boo Radley's sleeping in the bed. Hold on, but I have like a close up of him, and then there's little Boo Radley sleeping in his bed. I mean, he was out. And then look at these sheets that I want to get. What do you guys think about those sheets? I like those sheets. But anyway, so he was out last night, and that was at about 11:15. And then I like sat up there for like 10 minutes because sometimes he like will lay down, then he gets back up. And so I wanted to get him comfortable again if he did that. But Alex came home. Alex was home like, I think it was upstairs when Alex came home. Oh yeah, I was, because Alex was like, hello, hello, and I was like, don't wake him up. And then Alex came up. It's like he's so deep asleep though. And then I was like, I wanted to take a shower last night, but I was like so tired and I just wanted to watch TV, and so I was like not gonna take a shower. And then Alex came up and he was like changing and whatever, and I was like, I'm taking a shower. So I took a shower last night, Used all my Apple products, the native Apple products. My neighbor across the street, he has been watering his yard like crazy. And, I mean, he had the sprinkler out here on both sides of the yard and stuff like that. He is, like, intent on the watering of the yard. Alex even noticed it when he came home. I didn't even have any of my Diet Dr. Pepper yet. So I took a shower last night. I got real comfy. Played a couple games of solitaire. Talked to Alex in bed. And Alex told me all about his night and all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, okay, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I'm going to play some, or look at some TikToks, and then I'm going to go to bed. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to go and finish this movie that I was watching. So while Alex was gone, so I was like 20 minutes into Maxine, which is the third movie in that X trilogy. I'm going to do a whole video over on my Peter Watches TV channel about that X trilogy, because I have a lot to say about it. So I was like 20 minutes in. You know what? I need to put on this hoodie because it's starting to get cold. Where is my hoodie? Oh, there it is. Guess I can take off these stickers now. Who is texting me? Oh, it's okay. My legs are actually getting cold, which never really happens. These are getting ready to become Christmas pillows here in just a little bit. So I was watching Maxine, and then I was like, I kind of want to save the scary movies until later tonight. Like, I want to watch movies later tonight. So I was like, I think I'm going to watch like a series. Well, so many people had messaged me about watching the new series on Netflix. It's #1 right now on the trending TV shows called This is the Zodiac speaking. So I was like, I'm going to watch this because it's 3 parts and it's like 40 to 45 minutes an episode. So I was like, I'm going to watch this documentary and then I can make a video about that on my Peter Watches TV channel. Plus, I love true crime. I will tell you, I'm completely bored with anything to do with the Zodiac killer. So Mel texted me like right around that time and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I was like 20 minutes into it. I was like, I just started this. So with Boo Radley, he slept through the night. I kept on checking on him, like Alex, I would like open the door. Alex was kind of up he was up till like 2 or something looking at TikToks and stuff. I would open the door and Alex would take his AirPod out and he goes, he's asleep, babe. I'm like, I'll let you know if something happens. I was like, okay. And so, Boo Radley slept through the night. So anyway, I came up about 3:30 and took my contacts out, washed my face, got into bed. I did my face routine last night and everything. So anyway, haven't done that in a while. Got into bed and I still haven't had a sip of this Dr. Pepper because I poured the rest of it out. It's funny, like, when people walk by here, like, who, like, intentionally, like, looks over here and says hi. And, like, other people that, like, they're, like, intent, like, listening to something. That must be what I look like when I'm, like, walking down the street. I'm, like, so intent, like, into my book and stuff like that. So I went to bed about 3:30. I keep on, like, checking on Boo and, like, looking to the side. And then I'd asked Alex, I was like, do you want to give him his meds in the morning or do you want me to? And he said, well, you gave him both of his meds, the 2 and the 10 o'clock. Today he goes, so I'll give him the 6 o'clock meds. We had talked about that earlier. And I was like, okay. But I still set my alarm for 5:55 because I wanted to make sure that, like, in case, like, Alex's alarm didn't go off or whatever. So at 5:55, both of our alarms go off and Alex gets up and he was like, I told you I was going to get him. I said, okay. So then I fell back asleep and I fell asleep deep. Like when I woke up this afternoon, it was like, I woke up, it was this afternoon, it was like after 1 and I was just like out. I was like, I had slept so deep. I guess I'm sure I need it, you know? My headache is, my migraine is, or headache or whatever, it's not a headache, it's a migraine. I can tell the difference. It's starting to slowly go away a little bit. I'm kind of going back and forth between like Advil and Tylenol. I don't really know which one works better, to be honest with you. But I took Tylenol, and so maybe that's what it is. And I've had some caffeine, so hopefully that's helping a little bit. I don't know. Maybe sitting here just talking is like so relaxing to me that that's what helps the migraines. I have no clue. But anyway, so I crashed out. So anyway, last night, Mel texted me and she's like, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm watching this Zodiac documentary. She's like, oh my God, I'm watching it too. And I said, well, where are you at in it? Well, we were like at the exact same place watching it. She got ahead of me like by an episode because I was like folding towels in the basement, cleaning up after Boo Radley, getting him more food, taking him outside, stuff like that. So she got ahead of me by like an episode. But we were talking about it. It was so funny because we were texting back and forth. And, I mean, we read a book. We read that Zodiac book that's mentioned in... The one that we read is the one that they talk about in the documentary. And so, she was sending me pictures. This back and forth is so funny. She said... Okay. So I sent her the last 4 documentaries I watched. Hunt for the Chameleon Killer, Sweet Bobby, I'm Not a Monster, Lois Reese Story, and Family Secrets, The Disappearance of Alyssa Turney, which is our November book for True Crime Book Club. And I said, have you seen these documentaries? These are the last 4 I finished. Where were we talking about? Oh, she said, how's it going? I said, good, watching the Zodiac documentary on Netflix. She said, I'm watching it right now too, LOL. And I said, how far are you into this show? She said, like 20 minutes or so into the first episode. And I said, I'm in the same place. People keep saying it's so good. I'm ready for new info. I feel like all these Zodiac shows are always the same. She said, I completely agree with you. I'm kind of bored. I said, me too, yawn, LOL. And then she was asking about Boo Radley. And then I asked her if she'd seen these documentaries. And I said, have you seen these documentaries? These are the last 4 I finished. They're all pretty good. And she said, I watched Sweet Bobby last night. To be honest, I wasn't super interested in it. I'm going to watch the Alyssa Turney one after I finish the Zodiac one. And so then we were talking back and forth about that. And then I said, I'm starting to think, because every one of these Zodiac shows you watch, well, first of all, the information that's in this Zodiac speaking, so Mel kind of nails why I think a lot of people are talking about it. But the information that they have in this is like, if you've watched or read enough about the Zodiac Killer, this Allen guy, I think his name's Richard Allen, they've talked enough about him. Like, I mean, it's not new information. Like, if you've followed this for a while, like, it's not new information. You know about a lot of this stuff. And I said to Mel, I said, I'm starting to think the Zodiac was some old lady nobody knows about. And I said, this documentary could have been 1 hour. And she said, LOL, agreed. And then she said she was on the last episode. And I said, I'm halfway through the 2nd episode. And then I was asking her, I said, we already knew about this Allen guy. And I said, I feel like we know everything there is to know about the Zodiac. I said, this documentary is okay, but I do feel like it's not that, there's not anything that's that new. And she said, I agree. And I said, I'm not watching another Zodiac documentary unless, I thought the camera stopped. I said, I'm not watching another Zodiac documentary unless they say we know exactly who the Zodiac is with DNA testing. And then she said, LMFAO, I said that she said to her husband when I started the last episode. I said, I'm serious. Another one about someone who might have done it. I'm bored. And she said, and this is where she nailed it, she said, it's an interesting case if you're not familiar with it. And I said, I 100% agree I said, but I'm more than familiar with it at this point. And she said, that's what I'm saying. And I said, girl, please give me my 3 hours back. And she said, haha, same. I mean, this is the thing about the documentary. It's good. It's a good documentary. It's well done. It's interesting if you don't know about the case. Now, the pieces with the family that knew this guy, like, that's all new, right? Like, all of that is new, but there's so much of the documentary that isn't about. So what it's about is this guy that they suspect being the Zodiac Killer. All of these documentaries are always about, we think it's this person, or we think it's that person, or it could have been this person. But there's never, like, any verifiable fact that my neighbor just left and now he just came back, literally, like, 2 minutes later. But there's never, it's like, we know it's this person because of DNA testing. In fact, at the end of this documentary, they say, like, that they're waiting for DNA testing, which I felt like I watched another Zodiac thing that they were waiting for DNA testing. So anyway, what's interesting about this documentary is that there's a family that knew this guy, and now they've come out and they've started to speak about it. That part is interesting. I mean, it adds, like, layers to the story. That part's interesting. The way that the documentary is done, I mean, if this had been the first Zodiac documentary that I watched, I would have been like, oh, this is fantastic. I would have been like, this is really, really good. But, I mean, I've watched at this point probably 5 or 10 of them, and there's, like, they always go through and tell the same stories. In fact, when they go through and they tell the victim stories in this one, and they go back and they show the victims, it's really, like, I don't feel like they honor the victims that well. I don't think they really, like, talk that much about the victims and who they were and their stories and how they ended up there and things like that. So it's really more of, like, the mystery of who is the Zodiac. But, I mean, as far as, like, the codes and decryptifying I mean, all of that, I feel like, you know, and I don't know. There's just so much of this. So I don't know. I didn't think it was horrible. I think if you've never watched that many Zodiac documentaries or read any books about him, I think you would find it really interesting. Like I said, if this was like my very like first or second or even third introduction to it, I mean the pieces that were interesting to me were like the family that knew this. The camera stopped. The pieces that were interesting to me were like this. I think his name was Richard Allen. Is that his name? I don't want to keep on saying it wrong. Hold on a second. Zodiac Allen. The thing is, something Lee Allen. Arthur Lee Allen. They called him Mr. Allen. This was him. A couple things that I did find interesting, though, were like, I watched, there was something else I saw that was about him. And maybe it was one of the books I read or something like that. But I did not know that he had gotten a Zodiac diving watch from his mother right before the killing started. That was new information to me. The interview with the reporter that he actually let her in her house, that was new to me. And then the stories from the families. So there was some stuff that was new, that was interesting, but I don't feel like it was really that compelling. You know, and so, anyway, I don't think we'll ever know. I don't think we'll ever verifiably know that this person was a Zodiac or wasn't, you know? But if you had never watched much about the Zodiac, like Mel and I were talking about how the case is interesting. It is an interesting case, but I feel like at this point, like it's been beat to death. Like, the last one that I watched, which they actually referenced in this documentary, that one was bad. That one was just not well done at all. And it was like total speculation. And I think like going off of that one into this one was kind of why I was a little bored with it. Anyway, like I said, if you've never watched that many Zodiac documentaries before, you would find this interesting. So don't let it's like I feel like there's a couple people that like I feel like at the time that we were that we read the book about Chris and Shanann Watts, I like watched like every documentary about it. Hey! I watched like every documentary about it and everything. And so like, and to be honest with you, family annihilators are not something that I love to like read about anyway. And so, or watch documentaries about. And so if I never hear anything about that horrific man ever again, like read anything about it, I'm good, you know? John Wayne Gacy's another one. Like at the time that we read that book, and that book was really interesting that we read of John Wayne Gacy. I think it was called Killer Clown, if you want a good John Wayne Gacy book to read. It was about I think it was like FBI, and he was like one of the people working with the police. That was interesting, but it was really interesting because it was from his point of view. But I also watched a lot of documentaries about John Wayne Gacy. Like I don't unless they come out with something new about John Wayne Gacy, I don't need to relive that story over again. I mean, that's kind of how I am with true crime. Like once I've like seen it and done it, unless it's like a new case and more comes out, I don't really, want to know a whole lot about it. So, anyway. But if you don't know that much about the Zodiac, I think that this would be an interesting documentary to you. I think that's probably why it's trending at #1. I think either people are, like, super obsessed with this case, and so they're watching it, or... because it's #1 on Netflix, and it just came out. I think people are super obsessed with this case and have followed it for years and years and years. But I think most people that have followed it for years and years and years would say... We've known about Arthur Lee Allen. Like, the reporter that they interviewed that wrote the book, his name's like, I think, Gibraltar or Galbrater or something like that. He's like, the police, they knew, I mean, they did 3 search warrants on his house. Like, this guy is not a new suspect. So, what's new about it is the family coming out and saying all this kind of stuff. But even, like... I don't know, it's interesting to me, like, I don't want to ruin it, so, you know what, I'm going to save it for my reaction to it. But if you haven't watched it, I think you would think it was a good, if you don't know that much about the Zodiac, like, if 5 years ago, like, before I, like, had read the book and watched the documentaries, if I watched this, I would have been like, damn, this is a good documentary. So then when I get done with that was, like, up until, like, Boo, like, he was getting ready to go to sleep, because when Alex came in... I had just queued up Maxine, and then I had walked upstairs, because I had turned on the Keurig to make some coffee, and I had walked upstairs because Boo was like, I could tell he was like he was getting fast, and then he was starting to settle down. So that was when I got him into his bed. And then when Alex came home, we talked for a little bit, and then I went downstairs, and I finished, because I said, how late are you going to be up? I said, because do you care if I keep my AirPods out? He was like, no, not at all. And so I ended up finishing Maxine last night. I'm going to do a video about those as well. I think they're called Ty Price, is that his name? The director? That Mia Goth, like, first of all, I was like reading an article. There's like this huge scandal with the filming of that Maxine movie. There's like a lawsuit and all this kind of stuff about it. That Mia Goth, I never have heard of her before these movies. I don't know anything about her. She is an actress. I mean, like, she is incredible. She's absolutely incredible. I mean, you want to talk about, like, actor extraordinaire. I mean, she is, like, an amazing actor. And so, in order of how much I liked them, though, like, and how well they were done, they're different. They're three completely different movies. Hey, how are you? It's getting cold, isn't it? I like your scarf.
Thank you.
She's like a hot pink scarf on it. So cute. Like my mom used to wear that color. It's weird because they're so completely different. The one thing I did like about Maxine is that Maxine makes nods to the previous two movies. And I love when movies like in a trilogy do that. Like they pay homage to like the previous movies. I think out of the three, it's interesting because like having seen all three of them now, Maxine's like more of a thriller than it is a horror movie. I don't even know that I would consider it a horror movie. It's definitely more of like a thriller. It really, to be honest with you, it kind of like is very reminiscent of like thrillers from like the 70s and 80s. It takes place during the Night Stalkers. I think it's 1986. It takes place in Los Angeles. And she's like a famous porn star that then gets cast like in a movie, and she like wants to like change, you know, like get out of like adult films and go into something else. And she's from like the first one, so it's really well done. But interestingly enough, I think like I don't know, I had this whole conversation about the order of watching the movies, and a lot of people had things to say about it. I don't know that it really matters in retrospect. I watch them in whatever order you want. I think that I would say this: I wouldn't watch Maxine first. I think it would be confusing to watch Maxine first because Maxine like references, you definitely have to watch X before you watch Maxine. And if you watch Pearl before you watch Maxine, there's a lot of references to Pearl in the movie Maxine. But you definitely have to watch X before you watch Maxine. Like, the major part of it. I mean, the thing about Maxine was, I kind of figured it out, like, who it was really early on. Because they kind of gave hints about it. And I don't know if that was on purpose or whatever. But I still thought it was really, really well done. I think Maxine was my least favorite out of all three of them. I don't know why. I mean, as a standalone, if I had watched it, I would have been like, I love this movie. I love stylistically how it's done. I love the storyline. I love everything about it. But in context of Pearl and X, I think, honestly, Pearl was my favorite. X was my second favorite. But they're so completely different movies. It's hard to compare them. And then Maxine was my third out of them. But they were all really, really good. I was really surprised. I'm going to tilt this down just a little bit. So, after I got done with that, I was like, I think I want to watch another movie. So then I was going to watch Trap with Josh Hartnett, because Trap is now free on Max, and I was just going to pay $19.90 like a couple weeks ago to rent it. So I was like, well, since you were going to pay $19.90 to rent it, since it's free, you might as well just go watch it now. But a couple people told me that they, like Nikki was telling me that her mom liked it. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll watch it. But enough people told me they didn't like it that I thought, well, it'll probably suck. Now watch, because a lot of people told me they love the Zodiac, and it wasn't that I disliked the Zodiac, I just was kind of bored of it. Because there was so much, well, the thing is about it, okay, with the Zodiac is that to tell the story conclusively, like, they couldn't just come on there and share just the family story, or to people that didn't know about the Zodiac, it wouldn't make any sense. So they had to share a lot of the background of the Zodiac killer. That, to me, was like, I feel like I've heard this a million times. Does that make sense? But, like, for anybody watching it for the first time, they had to do that. But anyway, I don't know. So I might watch Trap tonight, but I'll tell you what I'm definitely going to watch. So instead, I watched the new movie with the guy, Finn. It's #1 on Netflix right now. Don't Move. It's with Finn Whitrock, or whatever his name is, from the American Horror Story movies or shows. And it's directed by Sam. Who's that guy? The famous director from like the 70s and 80s. He did like a lot of horror movies. Don't Move. movie, 2024. What's his name? Why can't I think of his name? Sam, I should know it. Oh, maybe it's not him that directed that. Finn Whitrock and Kelsey Asbell. I don't know anything about her. Some of these people looked really familiar to me in that. Why did I think that it was a Sam? New Sam Raimi. That's who it is. Sam Raimi movie. Why did I think that was him? Maybe it's something else. Don't Move. Well, what did he do on Don't Move? He's not the director. Was he the producer? He must have been the producer. Hold on a second. Yeah, he must have been the producer. Okay, so I watched this movie last night. Just a quick synopsis is, it's about this woman that's had this tragedy in her life, and she meets this Finn Whitrock guy, like, right before she's going to, like, do something drastic. And then, like, he kind of charms her, and then they're, like, leaving, and then he tells her that he's, like, shot her with this drug that, like, in a half an hour she's gonna be paralyzed and she can't move. Okay, I did not love this movie. I have to be honest with you, when I started watching it, I was like, these are the kind of movies that, like, freak me out. Like, buried alive movies, oh my god, those freak me out. I can't watch them. So I didn't really know what to expect. I thought it was so boring. I was so over this movie. I don't know why. It is, like, all these people are talking about what a great movie it is. I was bored. I thought maybe, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it, like, a 3 or 4. I thought it was boring. I thought it was predictable, and I thought it was boring. So, I mean, even, like, the very end of it, I was like, I knew exactly what she was going to do. I was like, this is so predictable. I felt like the whole movie was predictable. I didn't think there was I don't know why it's getting like this. I'm confused. Maybe I'm so critical of movies anymore. It's like, you better show me something good. But it's like, I watched Strange Darling and I was blown away, you know? So it's, no, I'm still giving, like, props for great movies. And speaking of great TV shows, so Nikki and I were texting last night, and she had started Teacup, and I said, which is on Peacock, and I said, well, I don't want to watch it till the whole thing's out. And she's like, well, I started watching it, but she said, I'm, like, so confused about the first episode. So she's like, so I might go back and start watching it again. I said, well, if you're watching it, then I'll watch it too. Because I like to watch TV shows with my friends. So, you know, like Tanya and Mel and Nikki and Caroline and stuff, so we can talk about shows. So I was like, well, maybe I'll watch it, and then, you know, like, whatever. So I went in and I looked, and I guess it's 8 episodes total, and the last 2 are coming out on Halloween. And I was like, well, that's perfect, because then after Caroline's, I'll come home and I'll watch Teacup, and that'll be like, you know, my scary Halloween night or whatever. And so I started watching Teacup last night, and I didn't realize the episodes were so short. The first episode's 32 minutes. I think the second episode's 32 minutes. So I watched the first episode, and then I started watching, like, 2 minutes of the second episode. Okay. I could have binge watched the whole show last night. I will say it is very confusing. I'm sure it'll make sense in the end. It's very, very spooky. I don't even know that I could explain to you what it's about. It's about this family that lives on a farm, and the wife's a veterinarian, and a bunch of weird stuff starts happening. It gives me elements of the movie Signs, except I don't think it has anything to do with aliens. It gives me moments of, it reminds me of so many different things that I've watched. It is really, really good, though. The mother is played, the grandmother, she reminds me of my mom. I don't know why she reminds me of my mom. She's like a pot-smoking, like, aging hippie, but not. Like, she wears, like, you know, sweaters and jeans and stuff like that, and she listens to, like, Neil Young. What is her name? Well, I can't remember her. She was in Edward Scissorhands. I love her. Teacup cast. Oh, and Scott Speedman. Do you guys remember him? I was like, who is this guy that's in there? Kathy Baker, she plays the grandma in it. I really, really like it. I was kind of surprised. I didn't really know what to think. So I think tonight I'm going to finish that. So tonight, did I finish anything else? Oh, I started making my list of November shows last night. So if you guys have November shows that are coming out, because the first, I can smell those candles now. I don't know which one I can smell. I think it's the Bookshop in Autumn I can smell. Yeah, speaking of bookshops, I need to get on these books. I need to finish these. I gotta get caught up on these books. So I started making my November list. I started screenshotting things last night. But look at the October shows. I don't know if you guys can see it. I've watched so many of my shows on my list. I've watched Salem's Lot. I have not watched Sweet Pea. Teacup, I just started. Disclaimer, I'm waiting for it all to come out. I've watched Hysteria, Woman of the Hour, Unsolved Mysteries, Heartstopper. Alex just asked me about that today. I'm waiting until November. The Menendez Brothers documentary, Sweet Bobby, Lincoln Lawyer I started. This is the Zodiac Speaking I watched. Hold Your Breath I watched. The Hunt for the Chameleon Killer I watched. The Disappearance of Alyssa Turney I watched. Real Nightmare on Elm Street I started. Joan I have not started. I Am Not a Monster, The Lois Reese Murders I watched. Fanatical, Catfishing of Tegan and Sarah, I haven't watched that yet. American Horror Stories we watched last weekend. 1,000-Pound Sisters, I started that. Dr. Odyssey I have not started. Caddo Lake I started. Alien Abduction Manhattan comes out the 30th. And Matlock and Elsbeth I haven't started. I've like watched a lot of these shows on this list. This list was really, do you guys see the list? It's so helpful for me. By the way, yesterday, I don't know if you guys noticed it, but I was talking about, like, my phone, and, like, I held up my phone for a second, but, like, I was showing you guys, it's the part where at the beginning of my vlog, and I said, I was talking about, like, I referred to my notes when I was talking to the woman from the thread that was asking me, like, how long Boo's been on Kepra. Well, I showed my notes, but when I showed the notes, at the top of it had, like, all of our, like, vet information and all that kind of stuff on there, and so I clipped that part out, just, like, 2 seconds of it. So I don't know if anybody noticed that I clipped that part out, but I clipped that part out because I was like, I mean, I like held it up and I was like, and it had all of our vet information on there, which, anyway, so clipped that part out last night. But yeah, I've watched like a lot of those shows of October. I'm kind of surprised about that I watched so many shows. So here are the November shows. I haven't found that many new November shows that are coming out. Silo Season 2 comes out November 15th. Excited about that. Based on a true story. Did you guys watch that? I didn't love the ending of it, I will say. I was just telling Alex the other day. So he was like going through shows to watch, and I was like, he was looking on Peacock. And Based on a True Story and The Resort are both good, like, comedy, like, thriller kind of shows. So it comes out November 21st. Oh, somebody sent me this last night. I can't remember who sent it to me, but I think I'm going to buy it for Boo Radley. It is a lamb chop dog bed. Can we just talk about this? I think I'm actually going to order it tonight. Isn't that so cute? I screenshot that last night. And then here are the sheets that I screenshot that I said to you that I was going to buy earlier. And then there's little Boo Radley sleeping. Aww. And then here's the screenshot of the documentaries I watched. We can delete that now. That I sent to Mel last night. Oh, here's my vlog from yesterday that I uploaded on my phone. Here's Don't Move, the movie. Oh, it says from producer Sam Raimi. Okay. Obladi, oblada. So I guess I don't have any other November shows saved. Oh, no, here's one. I think I talked about this yesterday. This is coming out on Prime Video. In Cold Water, The Shelter Bay Mystery. All my lists that I usually reference for, like, new shows coming out the next month and new true crime, they're not out yet. So anyway, I started Teacup last night, but I, like, started the second one at, like, 10 after 3, and I watched, like, the first 5 minutes of it, and I was like, no, you're gonna save this for tomorrow night. Save this for tomorrow night. And so, because I had made, like, a cup of, like, the sleep tea and all this kind of stuff. I thought that was somebody, like, screaming. It was, like, somebody laughing. So I was like, I'm going to save it for tomorrow night. So that's what I'm going to watch tonight. But then I forgot. I've got Sister Wives to watch tonight. So that'll be my video tomorrow for Peter Watches TV. So I have to do my notes for Sister Wives tonight. I have to go to bed early tonight too. Like earlier than I usually do, which is fine. Because I've kind of enjoyed going to bed earlier. Just kind of like laying there, knowing that Boo is settled, you know, all that kind of stuff. But I have an early hair appointment tomorrow, and then I have to get an Uber there and get ready and get Boo settled and all that kind of stuff. So I can't go to bed too late tonight. So as soon as Sister Wives is recorded and From is recorded, I'm going to watch those, and then I'm going to watch Teacup. But I think Teacup's only, it's only half an hour each episode. Weekly TV. Alex and I tonight will watch Real Housewives of Orange County, Grotesquerie, and House of Villains. And then tonight, I have Sister Wives, which I'll take notes on, and then From, and then I'm going to watch Teacup. So, those are my shows. And watching a little bit of the Halloween movies, here and there, a little bit of the Halloween movies. My pool crew neighbors, they find like they put these like ghosties up. Have they had those up? I don't remember if they've had those up or not. Oh, you know what I could do tomorrow? I'll have to talk to her about it. I could do a garden tour of her Halloween garden tour. So that's the day. I think that's like the moment that like I feel very, very relaxed at the end of the day is like when I know that Boo Radley's sleep medication is getting ready to kick in, and or he's just fallen asleep, and I've cleaned the kitchen. The kitchen is spotless. The living room is, I mean, I have vacuumed the hell out of the floor and get all the food pieces and leaves from outside and everything. That I get it all, and so like everything's cozy, everything's clean, the kitchen's clean, the laundry's done. I've been trying to get the laundry done before I start watching TV, or that distracts me, and then I go down there and do a bunch of it. The laundry's done, and then take a shower, get in my comfy clothes, play a couple games of solitaire. I know it sounds so boring. My life is boring. My life is so boring, and you know what? I don't care. I kind of like the boring life. So, I like the simple life. I'm excited to see Alex's mom tomorrow night. That'll be fun to see her. Hear all about her trip and everything like that. So that's tomorrow night. And then I have my hair appointment tomorrow during the day. And then tomorrow night, we're going to his mom's house for dinner. And then Tuesday, I have therapy in the afternoon. I feel like the time is later than it usually is. So I'll probably get up and film some videos early on Tuesday before that. And then Wednesday, nothing. I'll just film videos all day long. I'm going to try to pre-film some videos for Thursday because it's Halloween and I don't want to like just spend my whole day filming videos because I want to go to Caroline's early. I mean, not early, but a little bit earlier than everybody else. So Thursday might be a short vlog because I don't want to necessarily come. I'll probably, yeah. I'm going to try to pre-film like Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday videos for Thursday for Halloween because I like to just not really film a whole lot but my vlog on Thursday, or I just won't even worry about it. I am actually, you know what? I posted this over on my, hold on a second, see how hours, I've got 2 hours left. I posted this last night on my Instagram. Give me a Halloween rant, a Halloween scary story, or something funny about your Halloween will be used for a video. So I'm going to do like a Halloween rant funny video for Halloween on my drama channel. And then I put this little meme up. It says, I hope nice things happen for you today. And what else did I put up? Oh, just voting stuff. And then the car wash. Working at the car wash, yeah. It's funny to see like everybody's like different Halloween costumes this year. Somebody on the Bravo, Queens of Bravo account or something like that. Who are all those people walking down the street? There's like a bunch of people. They got their tennis rackets. On the Bravo, Queens of Bravo account, somebody posted this guy's outfit and he was like wind chimes, and he was like Jamie Lee Curtis's wind chimes that Dorit said were chic. He had like a t-shirt on it that said, I don't know how it said that you knew it was Jamie Lee Curtis's. I think he had like the quote that Dorit said on his t-shirt or something like that. I should actually just look it up. Let me look it up and show it to you guys. Hold on a second. See if I can find it. Queens of Bravo. It was so funny. Queens of Bravo. Is that where some... Oh, here it is. I hate Halloween. What do you mean? You're Jamie Lee Curtis and Dorit. Here it is. If you guys watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you guys know what I'm talking about. What does this t-shirt say? It has lemons on it. How do you know that? Would you know that? Oh, carcass out. Okay, that's why. Oh, because it's carcass out. Because Dorit always orders her drink with carcass out. So he's got the carcass out on his t-shirt. I get it. If you guys watch Real Housewives, you know. I love that account. Okay, so let's go in here and should we answer some questions from the vlogs of love? Damn, you all watched that video yesterday. My vlog from yesterday was 1 hour and 43 minutes, and the average watch time is 1 hour and 17 minutes. Damn, that is some long average watch time y'all did. Okay. People may have seen, this is from Sharon. Sharon said, people may have seen it already since it's more than 20 years old, but if you're looking for psychological horror, a favorite of mine is The Other, starring Nicole Kidman. So scary and chilling, very turn of the screw-esque. Okay, I do love that movie. I haven't watched it probably since I saw it 20 years ago. Do you know what's so funny about you talking about Nicole Kidman is, hold on, I'm setting my settings over here, my brightness settings to never, so that my phone, this is what I do when I am filming like drama videos and stuff to keep my receipts on, then it's like they never go off. So anyway, so like my phone never like shuts off, it just stays on. I am not a lover of Nicole Kidman as a person. Like, there's something about her that just drives me crazy when I see her in interviews and stuff like that. I think I've said that in a bunch of videos. Renee Zellweger is the same way. But, like, in movies, I love them both. Renee Zellweger and Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman, I love. Like, in everything she does, I love. But, like, as a person, like, there's something about her that drives me crazy. I don't know why. But that movie, The Others, like, it really screwed with me. And I have to say, I'm probably one of, like, 5 people that didn't see the ending coming of Others. But I agree with you. It's a great thriller. Okay. Siwa's Broadway Band Geek said, not enough self-care caused her symptoms to catch up with you. That is probably very, very true. Oh, a bunch of people were sending Kayla prayers last night. I think that that's really sweet. Stacy right here said that she was sending Kayla prayers, and a lot of people did. Oh, Stacy said, rude. I've been to all the book clubs this year. Not hard when there has only been a girl. You are rude. And then she put edit. Don't cry. Oh, you know why I'm forgetting that you're there? Okay. Because Stacy comes in, but her name is not Stacy because she uses her husband's account when she comes in the Facebook group. And then she'll be like, this is Stacy. That's why I was like, it's not, Stacy hasn't come in there. You know what? I totally forgot about that till that moment. You're right, Stacy. You do come to all of them. You're a good participant in True Crime Book Club. She also said, the summers with my kids are so precious to me. I hope Wisconsin doesn't go to a balanced calendar. There's so much more to do in the summer. Cattown said, I live in South Alabama, and growing up, we never had fall break because we got a week. It's so interesting the things I talk about that, like, get the most comments. Fall break has gotten so many comments on these vlogs. I love it. We never had fall break because we got a week off for Thanksgiving and a week off for Mardi Gras. Michelle said, hey, Peter, I have been following the Delphi case, and I watched, a couple people mentioned this, Hidden True Crime here on YouTube to get my info. She is in the courtroom every day and does a fantastic job covering the trial. That case is so sad. Hope you and Alex are having a great day. Love to you, Boo and Alex. To you too, Michelle. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you for the information. So if you guys are wanting to watch it, it's Hidden True Crime. Apparently, I'm going to go in there and start watching it. I think the case is incredibly sad. Incredibly sad. I wasn't completely... Is his name Richard Allen? Why do I think his name... Why is that why I was saying Richard Allen earlier? Delphi. His name's Richard something, isn't it? Delphi murder trial. Richard Allen. That's why I kept on saying Richard Allen. Because it was... Okay, I when I was in my head saying that earlier, I was like, is that why I keep on saying Richard Allen? Anyway... Nikki's been listening to the podcast of the court cases every day. She said she wasn't so sure at the beginning, but now she's pretty convinced that, like, he is, you know, the guy behind it did it. I have to say the same thing, but I haven't listened to court trials, so I don't know. But if you guys are listening to it, I'd be interested. It just makes me so sad for those families and everything. If you haven't watched Taken Together, the last episode of Taken Together, it's not about the Delphi murders. Taken Together is about, it starts off with 2 cousins that are abducted. I think it's in Iowa or Missouri or Kansas. I think it's Iowa. But then they talk about how there's only 15 cases of double kidnappings in the United States since the 70s. And the last episode, they talk about Abby and Libby from Delphi, and they interview their families. And I actually think the interviews from Taken Together of Abby and Libby's family are some of the best interviews I've ever seen with them. Very well done, and I think probably because a lot of time has gone by too, but it's just such a sad case. It's such a sad case. My hope is for the case, because you know when you watch some of these cases, there's a tearing apart of the victims and like trying to discredit them. And I'm really hoping that the defense does not go in the angle of discrediting or tearing down those 2 girls or their families in defense of this. I hope that does not happen, you know? We'll see. We've seen it happen before. I hope it doesn't happen this time. But thank you, Michelle, for that. Halsey said my dog's name is Max, and he was looking at the phone and kept going, dude, hey, Max, how are you doing, Max? Okay, Jolene said the pinched nerve is how my dog's seizure started. A muscle spasm in her shoulder. The camera stopped. Am I in an hour already? That's crazy. I don't know about the pinched nerve causing the seizures. Our vet hasn't mentioned that, but that's something that we can ask her about. I will add that to my list of questions. So thank you for sharing that with me. I appreciate it. Madeline said, I remember thinking I had vertigo, and it was just the fact that I was under such extreme stress and wasn't sleeping. A lot of people have said stuff about me sleeping on here. I've been trying to go to bed earlier the last couple nights, and just my quality of sleep is not great. And, I appreciate it when people are like, Peter, you need to get more sleep. You need to get good sleep. You need to take care of yourself. I'm doing the best that I possibly can. Like, one of the things about making videos or sitting out here vlogging is, like, this is a decompression time for me. This is a time where I'm not laser focused. Even when I'm watching TV shows and stuff, like, I'm kind of like, is he okay? What's he doing? Blah, 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 whatever. I'm kind of laser focused on it. So when I'm making videos, like, that's kind of a time for me to kind of, like, decompress and relax a little bit, which is really helpful. I'm trying to go to bed earlier and get some sleep and stuff like that. I'm trying. I appreciate y'all being so kind and caring and stuff like that. But I'm trying. But at the same time, it's like, it's a double-edged sword because I want to go to bed earlier to get better rest. But at the same time, like, my relaxation comes after Boo has gone to sleep at night and before I go to bed. That time where I'm just, like, in a chair and I'm not stressed out. And even then, I'm like, is he waking up? I'm taking the AirPod out. Like, is he up? Is he pacing? Things like that. And this is like, somebody said this on a vlog the other day, this is just a new normal. I'm just getting used to the new normal of what this is going to be like, It just is the new normal. I'm glad that he's still alive and he's still here and that each day he gets a little bit better. Today he's very tired and, he's slow moving today, but it'll pick up a little bit later. And I don't know, I'm so happy that he's still here and he's still alive. And, like I said this a couple videos ago, I mean, we really thought Tuesday of last week we were going to have to put him down. We really, really thought, like, that Tuesday was the day. And the fact that we're coming up on a week of him still being here after that is just like a miracle, and that he's gotten better each and every day. And I'm grateful for that. It is really... I was talking to a friend of ours, one of our, like, that was our server today, and she was talking about how she wanted to adopt this dog that was older and blind in both of its eyes and things like that. And I was telling her, I said, I really thought that down the road, like, I wanted to adopt a bunch of senior dogs, and a couple of you out there Mare has taken care of a lot of senior dogs. By the way, get ready for a shout out for Mare. Probably in my drama video. I gotta pick the right one. Maybe I'll do the Halloween one because she does a lot of Halloween makeup looks and she spends a lot of time on it and she's so sweet. But she's taken care of a lot of senior dogs through the years. And she's reached out to me about a lot of stuff, and I'm so grateful for you, Mare. I really, really appreciate it. But I was telling our friend today, I said, I really, truly believe that there is a special place in heaven for, we always say that there's a special place in hell for people, but I think there's a special place in heaven for people that take care of senior dogs that are really, really sick. I think you see the pictures on Instagram and you just, like, see them, like, laying in a bed asleep or whatever, right? And we've only been dealing with this for a month, and Boo's not even, like, as bad as some of the dogs out there that have multiple medical issues and stuff like that. But it is a lot. I mean, I'm worried all the time, that each day, is he going to have a seizure? What's going to happen? Is he going to come out of it? Whatever. And, like, is he going to eat today? Is he going to drink out of his water bottle? Is he going to walk up the stairs? I mean, today he's too tired. He's not going to walk up the stairs. He just isn't. I had to carry him from up the walkway up to the, inside. And so tomorrow, I'm like, I hope that he'll walk up the stairs tomorrow. I hope he's a little bit more active tomorrow. Will he eat his food tonight? It's like, will he take his medicine? All this kind of stuff. And so I would love to think that I'm the kind of person that I think that could handle that with multiple senior dogs. I don't know that I am. I don't think that I can. I mean, this is really, like, this is a learning experience for me. I think that those people that take care of senior dogs like that for years on end. I mean, you guys are literal angels on earth. You really are. And I know that I'm under huge amounts of stress, and I know that I'm not taking very good care of myself, and I know that I'm not getting good sleep. But in all honesty, the trade-off is that I'm really worried about, like somebody said something the other day about caretaker fatigue. I do think that I'm going through that. I think Alex is going through the same thing, you know? I think also it was like it just happened one day. Like it was like he was just like running around and having the zoomies and he was doing great, and then the next day something changed. So I don't know, you know, I can't believe the battery is still going. It hasn't even gone to the halfway mark. No, watch I say that. No, it's going to go to the halfway mark. This must be the good battery, not the bad battery. But I do feel like that a little bit. But the trade-off is that he's still here and he's happy, you know, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to make him happy. You know, I've said on here before that when his quality of life is for shit and the vet looks at us and says, it's time, okay? We're not going to keep a dog alive whose quality of life is for shit. I would never do that to a dog, you know, ever in a million years. I would never do that. And having gone through it with 2 previous dogs, I mean, Alex and I know that when the vet looks at us and says it's time. I mean, I think Alex and I will know it before the vet even says it to us, right? So I've already, like, mentally prepared myself for that. Alex has mentally prepared himself for that. We've had a lot of talks about it. But at the same time, it's like each day that he has a good day, I'm extremely grateful for that. But there's now a lot of work that goes into that when for years and years and years, that was not the case. I just took it for granted that, oh, he's having a good day, blah, 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 whatever, you know? But I know that I'm fatigued, you know? I mean, I know that I don't look great on camera. I know that I probably look exhausted and tired. I am exhausted and tired. That's just the truth, you know? I mean, if you're going to critique me for how I look, please don't do it in the last month, because this is, you know, I know that I look tired. I know that I look exhausted. I know that. I've had my neighbors have said it to me. My neighbors have looked at me and said, Peter, I'm worried about you. You look really, really tired, you know? And I am doing the best that I can to take care of myself, because I have to also, you know, as an epileptic and things like that, I have to take care of my own health. That's why I did check in with my doctor, you know? And I will tell you that everybody in my life that's just as worried about Boo Radley has also expressed that they're worried about me, you know? And they're like, you've got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well. And I'm just kind of finding the balance of that right now, of what that looks like to take care of myself and take care of Boo Radley at the same time. And I'm getting there, you know, I'm getting there. The walking and the pacing, even though it's slowed down greatly, is a lot, you know? It is a lot. And so many people have told me that it's related to the Keppra. And, you know, hopefully that will reduce over time. And, you know, whatever. We'll see. But yeah, I'm doing the best I can. And I really appreciate you guys, you know, expressing concern. And the battery just went to the halfway mark. I'm really grateful for you guys expressing concern and being so kind and caring about me. And so many people have reached out and said things to me about, like, I think it's great that you're taking care of Boo Radley, but please make sure that, Peter, you preach self-care. You preach taking care of yourself. You preach you can't give it to somebody else if you don't have it yourself. Peter, you preach all this kind of stuff. Please do it for yourself. And you know what? You're absolutely 100% right. And I do think it's easier to give advice, but when it's on your own doorstep, it's like, what do I do? You know, I mean, I really do believe that. It's hard, you know? But thank you guys so much for the kindness. I really appreciate it. Okay, let's get back to these. Somebody said, Alicia said, the view is so beautiful and the fish, all so cute and pretty. I didn't realize the fish came up so well on camera last night. Okay. Stacy, you left so many I was like, is that a little mouse down there? I was like, something is like moving underneath that mum. Stacy talked about, my mom has read all the Ladies Detective Agency books. I believe it's a show too. Somebody else said that it was a show too. I don't know, maybe I'll check out the show, but I want to read the first book. Okay. Sandy said the judge, a couple people said this. Sandy said the judge in Delphi ruled no cameras in the courtroom. That's why we can't watch it. Hidden True Crime is there in the courtroom and doing videos every day. Okay, so Hidden True Crime, I'm gonna have to check them out. Amy said, so glad Boo is doing better. I think pets take the same emotional toll on us as loved ones. Pet loss and health issues are very difficult, so I understand your worries and feeling sad or down about Boo. Thank you so much, Amy. I appreciate that. Sandy also said, okay, so for those of you that don't watch my drama channel the other day, there's this whole thing going around TikTok. Nikki, okay, the battery is getting ready to die. It's flashing. That went quick from going to the halfway mark to dying, didn't it? That's crazy. Okay, the battery's dying. I'm going to go inside, get another battery, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Let me just tell you what I walked inside to. Okay, Alex is upstairs watching TikToks. Boo Rally just got done eating, and there is... I walk inside and I saw it and I was like, I go, oh my God. And Alex goes, what is it? And I go, it's just, the food is everywhere. And he goes, babe, don't worry about it. I'll clean it up. I said, no, we can clean it up together. I said, when I get done with my vlog. I go, but it's literally everywhere. It's like the entire kitchen, not just like by the food bowl or the food plates, but like the entire kitchen floor is like, it looks like somebody just like shook like food out everywhere on the floor. And then it's carried into the living room because he carries it like, you know, oh God. Poor little guy. That's the next goal, is if we could just like get him to like eat like off of once and not like carry it everywhere. Okay, so what was I saying? I was talking about something. Now I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh, Sandy said, good thing Tom Cruise doesn't live in your neighborhood. All those poor fish would be in danger. Okay, so the other day, Nikki was telling me, I think I talked about it over here. I know maybe I just talked about it in my drama video. Nikki was texting me and she said she had fallen down the rabbit hole, some weird rabbit hole on TikTok for like till 2 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what weird rabbit hole? And she said something about Tom Cruise doing stuffed fish. Well, if you search on TikTok, it's called, and I hardly ever go over to TikTok unless somebody sends me something. It's called Tom Cruise Fish Lore, L-O-R-E. And all his videos pull up, right, about Tom Cruise. And so I made a drama video about it. And so when I was showing the fish yesterday, that's what she was talking about. It's a good thing Tom Cruise doesn't live in the neighborhood. Sandy, you got jokes. Prissy Kitty said, thank you so much for taking me on this walk. I really needed it. I'm unable to leave the house. This beautiful walk in the fall weather made my day. And those fish are absolutely mesmerizing. Thank you, Peter, for once again being so being so generous with your timing. Thank you. Prayers to you, Boo, Radley, and Alex. Oh, thank you so much. Greta put red hearts, a little dog emoji, and another red heart. Okay. Janelle said, Peter, anytime you feel dizzy like that, you always check. I did check my blood pressure. It was almost perfect. So I don't know, but she said, but you should always rule that out first. Thank you. I just want life to be normal again. Morgan said, I know here in Arkansas we get a week for fall break and a week for winter break. I think they get 2 weeks for winter break, maybe even longer. Just Jamie said, I was literally about to DM you about the new Zodiac documentary. It's so good. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Jamie, you're not going to like my thoughts. I'm so sorry, Jamie. Okay, Stacy said the timeline argument, talking about the movies, is so interesting to me. If the creators wanted them watched in a different order, wouldn't they release them in that order? Well, I was reading about how the director came up with the idea of Pearl, which Mia Goth is like an executive producer on these movies as well. But it was like this whole article about how he came up with the idea of Pearl. He didn't come up with the idea of Pearl until X was already filmed, which is why he filmed that 1 second. I think it's the article that I read. So it was kind of an afterthought idea, I think. Not necessarily an afterthought, but artistically it was an idea that he came up with afterwards. I don't know. Everybody's got opinions about how to watch it. Nikolai said, hello, hello, hello. It's 6:57 a.m. Oh, my Lord. And 62 degrees in sunny Las Vegas. I love Las Vegas. Amy said, oh my God, Peter has me stressed the way he was. What was I doing with the books? Well, it's so funny because somebody said, not Peter dissing the golf magazine while he has a golf sweatshirt on. I mean, I don't play golf, you know. I think it's at Hamptons Golf or something like that. I thought that was funny. But then a couple of you mentioned me how I was putting the books back. I'm going to have to go back and watch the vlog. Because I was like, how was I putting the books back? I don't even remember. I mean, I'm trying to hold the camera with one hand while I'm putting the books back. So that was part of it. But that was funny, Amy, that you said that, because you're not the only one. A couple people mentioned it. Someone's been feeding those fish for sure, said Tasha. Oh, because because all the fish were, like, crowding around there. I agree. Casey said Lauren with Hidden True Crime is doing a fantastic job sharing updates on the Delphi case, camping outside the courthouse to secure her seat daily. Bless everyone who's doing that to provide us with the updates. Kara said, I had my teenager's Halloween party last weekend because this weekend was homecoming. I'm so ready to get down all of my spooky decorations and put up Christmas. I am ready for Christmas. Oh, Stacy said the weather channel app said yesterday and today that we are experiencing a quick drop in atmospheric pressure and that it may trigger migraines. I'm in Wisconsin, so maybe Indiana has this too. I've heard of full sugar sodas are best for migraines. Well, that's what I heard too, which is why, like, I've been wanting to drink more. Like, yesterday I wanted the soda, but I didn't want to drink a whole soda. Or a whole regular soda, so I got half and half. Tamara said, every time you say, don't cry, I crack up. Literally don't cry, Tamara. Hey, Tamara, don't cry. Don't cry over me. Literally every single time I started saying it at work, and now my team does too. Don't cry. I have got to find that painting. I think that painting's in the basement unless I threw it out, but I'm almost positive I didn't throw it out. Kelly said, hi Peter, dizziness can be a symptom of migraines. I've had a migraine for 12 years and 10 months. Dizziness is one of my hardest symptoms. Keppra is one of the best medicines that we tried to help. Well, thank you for that. You know, it's interesting because, I mean, ever since I was diagnosed with epilepsy, I've had migraine disorder. I've talked about it on here a lot in the past, but I haven't really, ever since they put me on Keppra, had migraines that badly at all. So maybe the Keppra is helping with migraines. That's what I guess you're saying. I don't know. But thank you for that information. I used to get migraines really, really bad. Because I would talk about them on here. And I would talk about how there's a huge difference between a migraine and a headache. And it's kind of like, I mean, to be honest with you, to just like everybody that I'm just like talking to in my life, I usually don't differentiate. I'll say like I have a headache or, you know, because like if I say, oh, I have a migraine, versus like, I feel like there's a lot of people that throw the word migraine around without really knowing that. Like migraine is more like pressure. I can tell the difference between a headache and a migraine. I kind of sometimes, like, I probably even on here do, like, or have in the past, but, like, interchangeably throw those words around. But there is a huge difference between, to me, as somebody that has migraines, there's a huge difference between how, it's like when people ask me a lot about, like, ocular stuff, like, I don't know how many times I've said this in videos, but, like, I don't have, like, my seizure disorder. What is, like, somebody must have lit a fire outside, because I thought that was my candles. But it's not my candles. I don't have, like, ocular issues with my seizure disorder. And so, my migraines aren't necessarily... Anyway, what is that smell? It smells like hair burning. Is it somebody cooking out over there? Hold on just a second. I'm going to blow these out anyway. So I'm not going to vlog a whole lot longer, but this is kind of freaking me out. Why is it... Something smells like hair burning. You know that smell of hair burning, like with a hair dryer? It could be like a charcoal or a bonfire or something too. Maybe somebody's cooking out. I don't know. But anyway, back about migraines. I can tell the difference between like a headache and a migraine. Migraine is more like pressure. Where a headache is like my head hurts. I don't know how to explain any difference. You know if you've had the difference, but thank you for that. Rachel said, I feel the same way about Found. And she goes into a whole explanation of this, so I'm not going to read it on here because people will say I'm spoiling it. But she said the first season was amazing. Now the second season, I 100% agree with your statement on here. Okay, so L. Nickerson said, hi, Peter, my name is Lauren, so you don't have to keep calling me, somebody said. Also, yeah, pool companies keep water in the pools year-round, so groundwater doesn't come up in them and crack the bottom. Okay. Hi, Lauren, how are you? I mean, I don't know what people's, some people I do because they've like commented for a long time, and but I try to do my best with remembering the name. So I have to be honest with you. Well, now that I'm like making a big deal about it, I'll probably remember it. So, but if I don't, please don't get your feelings hurt. I'm sorry. I like sometimes like forget people's first names on here. Like SJM, Sarah, Susie, Sally. She said, dude, you are stressed beyond. It's gonna be my thumbnail. I will never remember that. It's gonna be my thumbnail. Take care of yourself, please. Thank you so much. Brandy said, someone must feed those fish to be gathering like that when they saw you. You know, I didn't even think about that. Now 2 people have said it, but I totally 100% agree with you. A lot of people like walk over there, I think, and like have their kid, like their grandkids, like feed like bread and things like that. So. Kelly said, hey, Peter, have you been keeping up with the Delphi case? Which I talked about in the vlog yesterday. No, I haven't, but I'm going to start. Maeve said, it sounds like you were having a panic attack. Peter, please. Okay, I appreciate that, but I wasn't having a panic attack. I would know that. I mean, I know the difference between a panic attack. It wasn't a panic attack. Like, I just felt dizzy. And it didn't last forever. I think it probably had. I mean, I'm sure it's related to being I appreciate you being concerned about that. But I think it's just related to being like overstressed and like not getting great sleep and whatever. So I'm just going to have to like, this week is going to be focused more on more self-care. My therapy session, we're going to have to take a pause on the trauma narrative for bullying a little bit. And we're going to have to talk about like how to like do more effective self-care and things like that. Because I've got to do a better job at taking care of myself. I don't know this guy that's walking in the neighborhood, but he looks like he lives here. Oh, you know who that is, I think? I think that's my pool crew lady's brother. Okay, Paige said, I'm happy I watched it like you did X First and Pearl. As you said, I like the not knowing anything about the couple on the farm because it gives the movie more suspense. Okay, this is somebody that said, Fox said, the way you were sliding the books back in made me scream. I'm cracking up because it's 6:45 a.m. Still dark outside and hoping none of my neighbors heard that. I'm so glad you are feeling better and love the walks, love seeing the fish and beautiful foliage. And then Carrie said the fish are amazing. What was I doing with the books? I'm going to have to go back and look and see what I was doing with the books. That's cracking me up. Okay, these 4 walls said, I just watched Cuckoo last night. I thought it was good, but I can't say I understand everything. It has some scary scenes, but it was a little too bonkers feeling for me personally. Not on that set doesn't, like, should I watch it or should I not? Lori said, I miss seasons, especially fall. Florida has 2 seasons, summer and February. Summer and February. My parents moved here from Missouri when I was 12. I'm 51 now. I miss snow and the colorful leaves. We didn't really even get that much snow last year. I wish we'd get some this year. Miranda said, I wonder what seasons are like. Been in the South Texas all my 30 years and have only lived in the 2 seasons as well. The seasons are pretty. I mean, like, let me just show you guys right now. I mean, like, the leaves have, like, drastically changed. Do you see? I don't even think this tree over here is showing up as bright as it is. But look at that tree in our front yard. That tree is beautiful. So pretty. And our whole neighborhood is like this. You know what? One day this week... Okay, this is the thing. People are like, do walking vlogs and whatever. Like, to walk down to the pool and whatever is fun, but, like, walking for me is, like, to listen to my audiobook or relax. I don't want to walk for an hour and, like, talk and whatever, and I appreciate you guys a lot of people are asking for that. I might do one every once in a while, but I'm not going to do it consistently because, like, that's my time to kind of, like, relax and, you know, decompress and whatever. But I appreciate you guys asking me to do that. So I will, you know, do that from time to time. But maybe this week for Halloween and fall, I will do a walking vlog of all the leaves in the neighborhood. Because like in a day or 2, they should be like at full color. There's still some down here that are green, but most of these have changed. So Why did I thought my phone was ringing? So maybe in sometime this week, like Monday or Tuesday, like from my Peter Does Stuff channel, maybe over here too, I will walk through. The thing is, like, I was just looking at like all the leaves in the yard, which are pretty, and they're not like so many down yet, but like tomorrow is landscaping day, and so they're gonna come through and they're gonna like get up all these leaves. So, but not on the trees, obviously, because they'll keep on falling on the trees. Do you know what I mean? Okay. Shelly, who I feel like we must have gone to school with or something. Everything she says, because she says hashtag fellow Hoosier. Everything she says, I'm like, I read it, and I'm like, I read this earlier today, and everything of hers that I read, I'm like, did we go to school together? Like, how does she know like everything about my experiences is exactly the same? She goes, Peter, they did have Meet Your Teacher night at the beginning of the school year. We didn't have days off. Doesn't it sound like we went to school together? We didn't have days off because they were held usually a couple evenings during the week. You could go with if you wanted and could show your mom or dad your desk and any school work you were doing. Fellow Hoosier. I thought you said you were like 4 hours away. Now I'm like, I feel like we went to elementary school together or something. Dolly said, your mother-in-law is beautiful and Alex looks like his mom. I think he looks like his mom too. His mom thinks he looks like his dad. I see similarities of both. I live in The Color Purple, where she says about her daughter, she says her daughter Olivia, that she looked more like both of us than we do ourselves, or something like that. I love that line. Somebody said, Monn said, I dig that hoodie, though those are pretty damn cute, pricey for sure, but definitely a Cape Cod preppy kind of vibe. I'm so Cape Cod preppy. Not. Looks good with your hat also. Oh, thank you. Love the field trips, LOL. Thank you so much. I like doing a field trip every once in a while too. Emmy said, I think I read this yesterday maybe. Andrea Burhart, who is a lawyer, is covering the Delphi case. Claire said, I totally agree with you about the native deodorant. It did not last long at all. Oh, here's the one. Carrie said, not Peter wearing a golf club hoodie while rejecting a golf magazine. That was in the book. I thought that was funny. Okay. You guys are so good with the comments. I really, really appreciate it. You guys leave so many nice comments. Glamum said, Peter, look after yourself and love to boo. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Landroy said, Peter, oh my god, I was just typing this comment asking if you were going to watch Don't Move, as you literally said it. Aha. I was thinking about watching tonight, but wanted your thoughts. Love Cheech. I think some people would love it. It just takes a really great movie for me to be super impressed. Oh, and we'll end with this. Sally said, I live for the way you read my comments. Love you so much, Peter. And I loved getting a little field trip to the pool. Your neighborhood's so beautiful and peaceful. So thank you, Sally. I appreciate that. She left that literally 30 seconds ago as I'm finishing this up. 30 seconds ago. Here, I'm going to heart it. There, you got a little heart for that. So she is the last comment of the vlog of the day of reading this. And, yeah, so I'm going to get off here now. And then I'm going to get this up, and Alex and I are going to work on the kitchen, getting the kitchen cleaned and but the thing is, we clean up the kitchen and then, I mean, you can't really move in the kitchen without cleaning it up. So we have to like sweep it with like a broom and then clean all that stuff up, and then we clean it up, and then like an hour and a half later, he eats again. And so you have to do this like 2 or 3 times a day. But at least he's doing good, you know, like that's all that matters. So I'm going to get off here, and I'm going to start rendering this vlog and getting this up, clean up the kitchen, relaxing for a little bit, watching some shows, and having a really good relaxing Sunday to go into this week. Halloween week. It's week of Halloween. So I hope that you guys are having a magically amazing Sunday, and that you are getting rested and relaxed and rejuvenated and refreshed for the week ahead. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you guys. And always remember these 3 very important things. 1, you can start your day over whenever you want, or your week if you need to. If you're watching this on Monday morning and your week has already started off bad, you can just say, you know what? I'm starting my week off good. 2, practice random acts of kindness. There's my neighbor coming home. Practice random acts of kindness, but shh, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. It's the nice thing to do. And just put some love out there in the world. And 3, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you with a phone call, a text message, stop on by, a wave to your neighbor, because it means so much to me when people wave to me and say hi. You never know. You might be putting, like I always say, you might be putting a smile on their face. You might be changing their day for the better. You might be the only phone call or text message they get for the day, and you might be making them happier. You don't know. Also, be kinder to one another. Love one another a little bit more, and be kinder to one another a little bit more, love one another a little bit more, and most importantly, be kinder to yourself and love yourself a little bit more, because the kinder you are to yourself, the kinder you will be to others, and the more you love yourself, the more you will love others as well. And also, you deserve it to be kind to yourself and love yourself. I think sometimes the people we are harshest to are ourselves. Forgive yourself, love yourself. Whatever you are going through right now, you will get to the other side. This too shall pass, the sun shall shine again, and better days are to come. I love you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya.